Drake, we heard you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. And they also said that UMG said that despite your lawsuit, they ain't tripping on that. Come on with it. They said that they have proof. Hold on, let me get out the way. They said they got proof. And they ready to expose yo Drake. They not playing with you, man. They said, all right, you want to sue us? Well, guess what? When you was doing all that freaky deaky stuff allegedly, you know what I'm saying? We had the cameras rolling. You know how they do. They don't let you get away without nothing, with nothing. They recording everything. You think you're getting away with it, but see, this is how they use to control them strings. So every time you think about getting rebellious, they be like, oh yeah, you want us to release this? You know what I'm saying?
So apparently, UMG has their own euphoria for Drake right now. This recent case, UMG stated it has evidence of Drake's involvement with minors, okay? And if he continues to push the needle, they are going to consider actually using that in the case. I don't know how Drake didn't see this coming. There's always two sides to everything. If you want to get information from Kendrick, what makes you think you wouldn't be required to give information as well? You try to point the finger at someone else, everybody gonna start pointing at you. Like, what do you have? And a lot of stuff can be easily Googled. We all know that video that was surfacing for years of him actually with a minor on stage, kissing a minor. I don't know if that's going to be one of the things they use in the case, but that's all public knowledge. You can go literally look at that right now. You know, the Millie Bobby shit, texting involving a bunch of different minors. It's going to be a whole lot of angles that they can go with. So if I was Drake, I would play this very safe. I would go in there and I would actually switch some of the things so this does not get out. Because, believe me, it's going to get out. You dealing with those people up there, you thought you were just like them, but it turns out you are not. You were going to get your N-word wake-up call. And this is what Kendrick was talking about. All you Drake fans thinking Kendrick was saying he wasn't black? No. Look at the context of what he was saying.
So since Drake filed that frivolous lawsuit, the most recent one, with all those silly requests to UMG requesting the paternity tests, all that kind of nonsense, I've been seeing, the Graham crackers, yapping online, talking about Kendrick lied. Kendrick was talking nonsense for a year about Drake being a, PDF file and all of that. And I was thinking, do the Aubrey Angels not realize that videos, interviews exist? We've seen the clip of, Millie Bobby Brown talking about, look what Millie Bobby Brown said.
Text each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him.
You and Drake? That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah.
Why is a grown man texting a little girl about boys? Why is Drake texting Millie Bobby Brown about boys? And you thought that was bad? Let's not forget that this video also exists of Drake on stage fondling an, a 17-year-old.
Look at all this. Well, I guess
17? Why do you look like that? Oh my God. They should have thrown him straight to jail and threw away the keys. But you know what? It's still funny because R. Kelly got away with it. Bill Cosby got away with it. So of course, the OVO outlets, the cheerleading squad, they're gonna find an excuse. They're gonna find a way to defend, their grand queen, for all this atrocious behavior with, with minor women. It's terrible.
UMG also cited Drake's history of interactions with minors that the public has viewed as weird, and how that played into the battle. Let's read what UMG had to say. Drake's relationship with minors predate Not Like Us and have been widely reported, noting that Lamar is indicting Drake for years of rumors and speculation around his misbehavior around minors, and that Millie Bobby Brown is one of the things that most people are aware of when it comes to Drake and the rumors around him. She talked about texting with Drake when she was, a minor. Notably, Drake himself called on Lamar to invoke these allegations in Tailor Made, released before Not Like Us, in which he had Tupac's AI-generated voice rap that Lamar should talk about Drake liking young girls. The Heart Part 6, Drake also affirmed that he understood Lamar's statements in Not Like Us to refer to Millie Bobby Brown controversy, stating, his Epstein angle was the shit I expected, and only effing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never looked twice at no teenager. Clearly, Drake himself understands that Lamar's lyrics refer to solely well-known issues. And again, for the people who come in the comments like, wait, how are they using his lyrics against him when their argument is he can't use Kendrick's lyrics against him? Their point is people say defaming things historically in rap battles. They also cited that rap battles have began in like the 1970s and have carried out through now. You feel me? And people say things and use angles in rap battles. This angle that Kendrick Lamar took was not a shock to anybody because these rumors were already circulating on the internet before Not Like Us, before the rap battle. These rumors have been circulating. So Drake is telling him, oh, use this angle. And then Kendrick Lamar uses this angle. And then Drake says, I knew you would use this angle. And then now it's saying, oh my God, this angle is defaming me. That is what they're saying. They're saying, y'all both said a bunch of shit about each other. This is why he used this thing against you. This has nothing to do with us. This was between y'all. Y'all did this. Do y'all understand that? You'll probably purposefully not understand that. Till next time, I'm out of here. Make sure you hit that follow button. Follow my backup account. Link to the caption. Link to the bar. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube. I will be posting long-form content there. Till then, I'm out of here. You shitting me? Oh, man. Let's see what happens next.
According to UMG, they're saying that they have news reports, right? And I don't know if we could Google and find news reports. Toronto News, Drake. Like, we've never seen a news report about Drake and minors, right? Like, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna take like maybe a blog post, maybe a post about maybe him messaging what's that girl named Millie Bobby Brown. Maybe those are the things that they're talking about, but it doesn't seem like they have like, oh, we got him, y'all. We got him. Like, it don't seem like that, right? Like, I can't even remember. Ask me, this is so like vague. Of course, Kendrick fans, because they're extreme, they're gonna be like, yo, they got the proof that Drake is fucking kids. And of course, Drake fans are gonna be like, nah, that's just fake. That's just AI. You know what I mean? Like, but they're claiming that they do have some bullshit, but we don't know what it is, right? We don't know what it is. If you ask me, I'd probably think it's just, they would probably say, hey, listen, if Kendrick claimed that Drake likes kids, he didn't make this up. He probably legit believed it because there were rumors floating around, or maybe he saw the Millie Bobby Brown thing or the 17-year-old on stage thing. I think that's what they're kind of getting at. But of course, fans are jumping out the window. That's what I'm saying, yo. I definitely don't see this get to trial, but still, fans are jumping out the window like, oh my God, they have like some hidden video, some hidden documents that Drake fucks kids. And of course, that's gonna go into the conspiracy theory of like the label has like these predator pedophile files, Epstein files of Drake that they're forcing him to stay in a contract. And if that was true, why would Drake file a lawsuit? You get what I'm saying? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, you would want that to be hidden, not to be profoundly mentioned in a lawsuit that your label has this on you. So I'm going to assume, and shit, you know, that's my guy, so maybe I'm just giving the benefit of that. But I think it's not even giving the benefit of that. I think it's just obvious. I think they're saying that the discoverable evidence that they have is news reports that have insinuated, stated, or alleged certain things about Drake before Kendrick said it. And it's not some, oh, they have a girl that said this that never came out and the label has a video. No, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
So this comment came in at the perfect time. So bro said, bro, the allegations are mostly true. Didn't you see the video of Drake kissing a 17-year-old? And funnily enough, literally like half an hour ago, Rap, which is a credible, you know, source for information, they've just posted this. The 17-year-old who was on stage with Drake in 2010 speaks out. So let's get this straight. Let's get this straight off the bat, right? This happened in 2010. Some people are acting as if Drake was 37 and this girl was 17. You know what I'm saying? No. Drake must have been 22, 23 at the time. I'll be real with you. I'm a Drake fan. It's still, you know, it gets me being like, yo, that's a bit like, yeah, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm 23, well, I'm not going for a 17-year-old, right? But in his defense, it was the age of consent. The age of consent, I think, is 16 or 17. One of them two. Anyways, it was the age of consent. He didn't kiss her on the mouth from what I saw. He just kissed her on the cheeks and the forehead. Anyways, let's not even talk about this because let's just get into the girl responding. So the girl said, regarding the video that's going around, I was 17 then and I'm 31 now. This was a concert that my dad took me to back in high school. Drake's entourage actually picked me out from the crowd of people, not Drake himself. By the way, performers always bring up fans on stage and it's part of their show. It was nothing then, it's still nothing now. Now that I've cleared up these false narratives, I'm going back to study for my law school exams. Wish me luck. So everyone's trying to, you know, do this whole P3DO angle on Drake, which I think is such a lame thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I've got Kendrick still winning. Don't get it twisted, right? Like, I'm a Drake fan, but I've still got Kendrick winning. But trying to paint Drake to be this P3DO is such a weak and lame fucking angle. Because yes, he's done questionable shit in the public eye. I'm not gonna sit here and act as if Drake is some saint, yeah. But trying to act like this guy is some Mike Epstein or some fucking Harvey Weinstein type of guy, fam. That's just a completely different like kettle of fish, fam. Until we see him get raided and, you know, get proven in court, the man has been doing some of these heinous things that are unacceptable, I'm not gonna hear it, fam. The literal victim herself is saying, yo, I would like, what, you man are trying to make this weird when it was never anything like that, fam. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is such a weak angle, fam. You know what I'm saying? So if you want, listen, hip hop is winning, but let's stop these false narratives. I said whoever brings proof is the winner. You know what I'm saying? If Kendrick brings proof that Drake is this P3DO, Drake's finished. I'll stop listening to Drake. I'll never listen to Drake in my life. If Drake comes out with proof that Kendrick's a wife beater and Kendrick, you know, and by the way, Kendrick hasn't denied any of these allegations, fam. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing which people seem to not be addressing. Kendrick hasn't addressed anything. You know what I'm saying? All he's doing is dropping tunes, just doubling down, tripling down on the shit saying about Drake. Where's the proof for any of it? That's what I want to know. Let me know what you think in the comments, though.
Woman who was 17 years old when Drake kissed her on stage finally speaks out. Y'all can read it, but basically she just saying like it wasn't a problem or nothing. Bitch, how the fuck that shit wasn't a problem? He called a 17-year-old thick and then proceeded to kiss you on stage. How much y'all think OV Ho paying her?
I am about to show you all a group of content creators and the thumbnails that they have posted videos within the last 24 hours. I'm going to show you 7 of them really quickly. We're just going to go through their thumbnails and I want you all to guess what they have in common. Okay, we'll play a little game. This first one is Drake's history with minors. Drake exposed a minor, Baka Not Nice, and rap beef drama. And next we have content creator whose thumbnail says UMG exposing Drake. Drake's contract and behavior with minors. UMG responds to Drake. Set to expose contract secrets. Ooh, that sounds scary. And we have another content creator whose thumbnail says relationships with minors. UMG to expose Drake's alleged history with minors. Sounds pretty creepy. Then we have good old Screwface Jean, whose thumbnail from today says UMG threatens to expose Drake's relationship in quotation marks with minors. And of course it has Say Drake, right? And here you have Drake surrounded by a bunch of little young kids, right? Now this is the same Screwface Jean who everyone was worried about being sued by Drake, being added to the lawsuit. What is Screwface Jean going to do? Yeah, he seems pretty worried right there. Like he's really bearing down for a long legal fight. Then we have the company man, Justin Hunt, a minor update. UMG states it has documents on Drake's relationship with minors. Ooh. Okay, and here's this next content creator's thumbnail. It says, be careful what you wish for. Lucian bout to expose Drake for real. And again, remember, these are all within the past 24 hours. And then finally, this content creator's thumbnail says, they know, pointing to Lucian Grange, UMG to Drake. We got documents on you, boy. Okay, so back to our question. What do all of these content creators have in common? And the answer is, well, there are a couple of answers, but the first answer is that each of them and many, many others are willing participants in spreading misinformation involving Drake versus UMG, the Drake versus UMG lawsuit. And I can prove that. I want you all to think about this. In the last 24 hours, each of these content creators that I just showed you, and there are many others, but these are the first group of them that I was able to find. So in the past 24 hours, all of these content creators have reported that UMG is saying in their most recent filing that they have evidence of Drake involving his behavior with minors. So
thanks for riding the wave. More hits coming soon. Please subscribe, like, and share.